Hi everyone, so if you didn't know, next week from the 1st of March till the 7th of March is Eating Disorder Awareness Week, and on the plus, if you didn't know, I'm going to be doing a sponsored bike ride all the way from home. I've got my bike here. I'm going to be doing 50 miles and I'm going to be raising money for the charity Beat, which is a leading charity in the UK that deals with eating disorders. I really quickly just wanted to kind of make a video about different kinds of eating disorders, about why it's very personal to me and how you can get involved and help. So Beat names 5 specific eating disorders, but I wanted to remind everyone that there are more than 5. The first one is anorexia, also known as anorexia nervosa, where it is a restriction thing, and people who suffer with anorexia have a set of rules. So where they can eat, where they can't eat, what they can eat, what they can't eat, who they can eat around, and it's a massive restriction thing. So they end up restricting a large amount of food, and they end up eating basically nothing. Then the next one is avoidance restriction food intake disorder, also known as ARFID, which is a restriction thing where someone avoids a certain type of food due to sensory problems, may it be texture or taste or smell, and if this one is not treated, it can become very serious. Next is binge eating disorder, which is also known as BED. BED is a serious mental illness where people eat very large amounts of quantities of food without feeling they are in control of what they're doing. It can affect, again, anyone, any age, any gender, and I want to make that very clear that anyone can suffer with an eating disorder. It doesn't matter who you are, your age, your sex, nothing. Anyone can suffer. Leading on from binge eating disorder is bulimia, also known as bulimia nervosa, which starts off as binge disorder, where someone will binge and feel like they're not in control, and then they will end up doing what we call purging, which is mainly done by either over-exercising to get rid of to burn off all the calories, induced vomiting, so you make yourself vomit, or laxative abuse. And this one is also very dangerous. It can cause tears in the throat. It can cause your teeth to fall out and your teeth to go rotten. It can cause internal bleeding as well if you're doing induced vomiting or laxative abuse. And the last one on the list is other specified feeding or eating disorders, also known as OSFED, which is kind of a combination of all the eating disorders I've just listed. I want to remind everyone that, like I said, there are more than 5 eating disorders, but these are the ones that Beat mainly focus on and help people with. I'm just going to read some statistics out. So 1.6 million people in the UK suffer from an eating disorder, and 1 in 10 of those are men. Men are less likely to get treatment for eating disorders due to there being a stigma around men and mental illness. 1 out of every 250 young women aged 10 to 20 are starving themselves to fit society norms. The youngest case in the UK that has been recorded for someone having an eating disorder is just 6 years old. And that really breaks my heart, knowing that a child feels the need to harm themselves. 4 out of 5 children are afraid of becoming fat. Ages 12 to 26 make up 95% of the 1.6 million people who suffer from an eating disorder. Anorexia is the 3rd most common long-term illness among teenagers, and unfortunately up to 20% of people with severe eating disorders, if not treated and not found out soon enough or not treated quickly enough, end up unfortunately dying. And why eating disorders are so close to home for me is because I have suffered, and I still do suffer, with bulimia nervosa. I have since I was about 13 or 14. And I remember there was this massive stigma around it when I first told a therapist that I might have an eating disorder. And their reaction was, oh no, you can't have an eating disorder, you're too big. I just want to remind people that only one of the eating disorders that I listed, you have to be underweight for it, and that is anorexia. So if you are overweight or on your weight, don't feel like you're not sick enough to have an eating disorder, because you are. I went for therapy for bulimia back in 2019. I was meant to be there for about 6 months. I ended up being there for 9. And I am going back there. My first appointment is on the 1st of March, which is the first day of Eating Disorder Awareness Week. Bulimia has affected my mental health and has affected the way I think, I feel, and how I do things. It has affected my family, and it has affected my friends, and it has torn a massive hole in my life, which I am trying to fix. Beat has helped me with that. Without Beat, I wouldn't have been able to tell my family about it. My mum was the first person I told, and she has been really supportive ever since. Beat helps everyone, but during the pandemic, charities like Beat and so many more other mental health charities have been under so much stress and strain due to the pandemic, and due to more people starting to suffer with things like eating disorders and mental health illnesses. That's why I ask you, if you can donate anything, as small as £1. I'm going to put my GoFundMe in the link of this video. And just want to say that all the money is held in the GoFundMe. None of it goes to me. On the cut-off date, which is the 8th of March, all the money will go directly to Beat, the charity. If you can't donate, I would really appreciate if you share the GoFundMe. And if you want to look at how to get involved yourself, I'm going to leave the Beat website in the link, and I'm going to leave it in the little caption of this video. And lastly, if you or someone you know does suffer from an eating disorder, I want you to know that you're not alone, and there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you can do this, and you will be able to get out of this situation that you are in. You just need to reach out and get help. So I do encourage you to go have a look at Beat's website anyway, but if you want to get involved and help raise money next week for Eating Disorder Awareness Week, I do encourage you to look at their website, and you can do anything. People are doing baking, people are doing sponsored walks, people are doing loads of things. And again, if you suffer from an eating disorder, or you know someone who suffers from an eating disorder, do reach out. Thank you so much.